Founded in 1946, Seoul National University is Korea's most prestigious university. In October of 1946, 9 colleges and 1 graduate school merged as SNU, Korea's first public university. Bringing all of its colleges together, SNU was relocated to a 5,000 square meter campus in Gwanak in 1975. SNU draws the top intellectuals from around the country. Koreans consider it the best university, and just getting into SNU becomes the pride of the family. When a student is accepted at SNU, the entire neighborhood celebrates the event. SNU is also trying to rank with the best universities from around the world. It is also contributing to society through various courses and programs that opened to the general public in 2010. For instance, SNU's Kyujanggak Institute for Korean Studies is actively engaged in the preservation of the Kyujanggak archives of the Joseon dynasty. These archives are indispensable to the research of Korean studies. SNU plays a significant role in nurturing Korea's future leaders. We visited its campus to learn more about the passion and aspirations of the SNU students. When March rolls around, the new school year starts, and the campus comes back to life. Let's take a tour and find out what really goes on in the campus.
Just arrived at Seoul National University. It is the #1 university in Korea where Seoul's brightest, like myself, go to study. It is the start of the new semester. It is bustling with university students. But I have one question though. Why is the gate shaped like a sha?
The Sha Gate represents the key to the school motto, "The truth is my light." The shape was formed using the first Hangul consonants of Seoul National University. Around this magnificent main entrance, the students look very busy. Now, just because you're an SNU student doesn't mean that it's all work and no play. The campus gets crazy with different clubs trying to recruit new blood to their groups. University clubs are not just an extracurricular activity, they provide the much-needed reprieve from daily academia and a very active social life. They've even made promotional music videos. Let's take a look inside these clubs.
So we've just arrived here at the Student Center inside Seoul National University, and supposedly there's a lot of clubs here, so let's go kind of look around and see what exists. I think I hear some noise coming from here, so let's open it up and see.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 네, 안녕하세요.
동아리예요?
저 서울대학교 스트릿 댄스 동아리 히스입니다.
같이 한번 해볼까요?
같이 한번 해볼까요?
네.
Dance is a great way to relieve stress. Students come to the club and dance away their stress after a hard day of work. The Museum of Art at SNU was established in 2006 and is open to students, faculty, and any art-loving local.
So this building behind me is the first University Art Museum. And as you can see, the building is uniquely shaped and it's a masterpiece. It's a work of art itself.
Different artwork, installations, and videos are on display. Visitors get to really feel the art, touching it and taking part in the production. There's even a graffiti piece by visitors.
대학교를 일부러 들어오기는 저희가 힘들잖아요. 근데 미술관을 오면서 좀 더 뭐라 그럴까요? 편하게 드나들 수 있고.
Visitors and locals are creating this space together.
I'm so famished. I need to find something to eat and quick. Let's ask one of these students if they know a good place to go. 네.
저쪽에 저희 학교 저기 서울대 입구역 쪽에 샤롯길이라고 되게 좋은 곳이 있는데 그쪽으로 가시면 그쪽에도 뭐가 많아서 볼 것도 많고 있어서 그쪽 가시면 될 것 같아요.
Just as famous as the schools themselves are the areas around the campus. Nokdu Street was quite famous back in the day. It was the prime hangout in this neighborhood, also known as the Exam Village, where students studying for the bar exam lived together. That group thinned out in 2009 after a new law school system came into place. In its place came a booming new hot zone, Seoulscape.
This road is a hot and trendy place known as Seoulscape Road. It gets its name from Seoul National University's front gate's shape. Just from the name alone, you can tell this road is full of charm and character.
Years ago, this 300-meter-long strip began bustling and got the nickname Seoulscape. Most of the shops here are restaurants. In the past, the area wasn't very commercially mainstream. It had a laundromat, some small eateries, a hair salon, but some saw the potential and began moving small restaurants and boutiques in. Now, there are about 30 stylish stores in the area. This is a burger joint called Journey that opened in 2010. It's one of the major reasons that Seoulscape started getting big, thanks to the Seoul National University Gastro Club, Sunumi, who ate there and spread the word. The burger is delicious. The one named after the store is really as good as the reviews. The handmade patties and original sauce are the secret of this popular burger.
I love hamburgers and this one's really good. Oh my god.
생각보다는 이쪽 근처에서 맛집도 많고 분위기 좋은 데도 많은 것 같아요.
학생들이 많이 오는 지역이다 보니까 조금 가격도 저렴해서 많이 찾게 될 수 있는 것 같습니다.
And yes, the prices are a huge plus. Low prices everywhere, even at this makgeolli place.
지금 뭐 주시는 거예요?
이제 꿀막걸리 먹고 있어요.
꿀막걸리요?
네.
같이 한잔 해도 돼요?
아, 한잔 하세요. 네.
이유는 모르는데.
그래서 야. 뭐 막걸리 파는 집은 보통 뭐 좀 한국식 느낌 막 그 이렇게 의자 없이 그냥 앉는 데고 막 그런데 여기 약간 카페 느낌도 있고 좋은 것 같아요.
Seoul National University, Korea's top university that has shared the history of Seoul and continues to change with the times. Ewha Women's University is considered the cradle of Korean female leaders. Its 127-year-old history is filled with numerous milestones, such as establishing Korea's first college for international studies and the first college of engineering for women. Ewha Women's University produced Korea's first female college graduate, the first female physician, and the first female prime minister, as well as many other women pioneers in their respective fields. Ewha Women's University's history began in Seoul's district of Junggu. American missionary Mary Scranton opened a school with a single female student in 1886. 1 year later, the number grew to 7, and the following year, 30. The name Ewha, which means pear blossom in Korean, was given by King Gojong of the Chosun dynasty. During the Japanese colonial era, students of Ewha actively took part in Korea's independence movement, including independence activist Yu Kwan-soon, a key figure in the March 1st movement. Ewha moved to its current campus in Sinchon in 1935, and in 1946 became Korea's first officially recognized university. And Ewha students became the symbol of Korean female college students. The university's May Queen pageant was the most popular beauty contest in the country during the 1960s and 70s. It was so popular that every year, May Queens would be featured on the front pages of major newspapers. The May Queen tiara was made with 400 grams of pure gold, and it is worth about $20,000 today. However, the pageant came to an end in 1977 due to various criticisms. While there are no more May Queens today, Ewha students are still the quintessential fashion leaders among Korean female students, making the premises of Ewha a shopping hub in Seoul. Until the 1990s, men were not allowed inside the campus, which led to the creation of the so-called Stage for Fools next to the main entrance, where men would wait for their girlfriends. Besides men not being allowed inside the campus, Ewha students were banned from getting married while enrolled in school. This ban was lifted in 2003, which allowed a student to graduate after 58 years. Today, students can get married and men can easily enter the campus. In fact, male students are even allowed to enroll. Ewha Women's University is Korea's most prestigious institution of its kind. Numerous global female leaders like former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, and Thai Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra have visited the school. Their alumni working in a variety of fields are creating endless possibilities for Ewha Women's University. The aspirations of the students added to the 130 years of Korean women's education will make this street even more beautiful as time goes by. Next, a university area in the district of Mapo. The area around Hongdae University, known for its art school, is filled with an artistic atmosphere. The Hongdae University area is popularly known as Hongdae. During the weekend, some 200,000 visit this vibrant neighborhood. Street performances are a symbol of Hongdae's young culture.
신선하고 프레시하고 자유롭고 합니다.
홍대는 놀이터다.
This area wasn't originally known for its performances. From the 1950s, it was mainly dominated by art studios and exhibitions, but things changed in the 90s. Now you can easily come across busking. The trend is closely related to the emergence of indie bands in the area. With diverse genres and freedom in style, these bands soon set the scene for a thriving indie stage. In the early 90s, when indie music was popular, there were some 80 live clubs around Korea. Of them, 50 were in the Hongdae area. So we visited the first live club that opened, called Drug. The club opened its doors in 1994, a time when live music was spreading in Hongdae and neighboring Sinchon. It became a hip place for musicians and fans, and set the stepping stone for young musicians. Ever since, many second and third generation indie bands are entering the scene. There's a record shop that's a fixture of this area. It's been a much treasured spot for indie bands and music lovers alike for the past 20 years, but there were moments of hardship. The store lost its place to a large restaurant and faced near closure, but was saved by one of its regular customers who offered up a small space. Street performances are open to all and don't have fixed admission fees. Spectators can be as close as 4 meters away from the stage, and it's on the streets like this that everyone becomes one. Of the 250 live clubs in Seoul now, 50 are in Hongdae, and each weekend, various indie bands hold performances. Bands practice day and night for their gigs. The stage may not be flashy, but it is special for each of these bands. The jazz band Haze Blue takes advantage of the neighborhood's vibrant atmosphere. These musicians say they wish for nothing more than sharing their music with people who appreciate it.
특별히 크게 뭘 생각하고 온 게 아니라 하다 보니까 음악이 좋아서 하다 보니까 여기까지 오게 된 것 같아요.
Hongdae is one of Seoul's most artsy and vibrant areas for youth. The streets spreading beyond the university campus are now an indispensable part of Korean art and culture. Some of those who graduate college gather later in this mecca of office workers, Yeouido. Yeouido began its modern transformation in 1916 when it became home to the Yeouido airport. There was only one runway and a hangar, but this was how many Koreans learned about airplanes for the first time. Some 50,000 turned out to welcome Korea's first civilian pilot, An Chang-nam, on his triumphant homecoming flight to Korea in December of 1922. The late Marilyn Monroe landed in that very field in February of 1954 when she came to perform for the UN troops stationed in Korea. In 1968, development began in Yeouido to redistribute the population of Seoul. The Pamsum Islets were a major part of the development. Today, they are a well-known place for migratory birds, but in the past, it looked a lot different. Pamsum used to be a part of Yeouido itself. An enormous amount of rocks were needed in order to solidify the sandy grounds of Yeouido, and they came from Pamsum. The government relocated residents living there and blew up part of the island. About 16,000 square meters disappeared off the maps of Seoul. The rocks also became the foundation for the embankments around Yeouido. The Yunjongno Street, where the annual fireworks festival takes place, was created at that time. The airport was replaced by the May 16th Revolution Square. About 397,000 square meters were covered with asphalt. The square was the site for rallies and events that would bring in 1 million people to watch or participate. The square eventually became the Yeouido Plaza and then Yeouido Park in 1999. In the process, all of the asphalt was removed and substituted with grass and other plants. Today, it is the place to be for rest and recreation. Apartment complexes have a special part in Yeouido's history as well. Yeouido's first ever apartment complex, the Shibum Apartments, featured Korea's tallest apartment buildings at that time, with 12 floors. But many residents initially hesitated to move in, as they believed the apartments were built on shaky ground. However, within 2 months, real estate prices jumped almost twofold and became the catalyst for building additional apartment complexes. Real estate values skyrocketed, and today, if one were to purchase an apartment in the complex, it would cost $1.3 million, making Yeouido one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Seoul. In 1985, the 63 building opened its doors, marking the highlight of development in Yeouido. The building is slightly shorter than Namsan Mountain, and at its completion, it was the tallest building in Asia. The 63 building was constructed over 5 years with a budget of $167 million at that time. The renowned exterior of the building comes from actual gold-plated glass panes. Each pane holds about 0.5 grams of gold, and there are a total of 13,400 glass panes. According to remodeling plans, the golden plates will all be exchanged. There's a little-known fact about the number 63 and the building's name. There are actually 60 floors above ground. The other 3 are actually basement floors. Visitors can take in the panoramic view from the observatory. Another iconic landmark of Yeouido is the National Assembly. The National Assembly had its opening session in 1948 in the former Japanese Government General Building in Cheongno-gu. After moving to 12 locations after the Korean War, including Daegu and Busan, it finally found its permanent home in Yeouido in 1975. The iconic dome of the building symbolizes the Assembly's willingness to accept all opinions from all Korean citizens. It was originally red, but eventually turned green due to rusting. There are 24 columns around the National Assembly building, and the 8 columns in the front symbolize Korea's 8 provinces. There have been numerous rumors surrounding the building. The most well-known of them is about a massive military facility underneath the building, reaching as far as Yongsan. When construction for the Yeouido Transportation Center was underway in 2005, an unidentified underground bunker was discovered, which was supposedly used as a military facility in the 1970s. Whatever the rumors, the truth is that there is actually an underground facility. This particular T-shaped route was built in 1984 and was originally part of an emergency evacuation route. Today, it's just another way for lawmakers and aides to get to work. Underneath this statue, 72 bottles of wine have been buried. The wine is scheduled to be unveiled in 2075, which will mark the 100th anniversary of the current National Assembly building. It symbolizes how Korean politics will mature along with the wine, 60 years till 2075. We hope the future of Korea's politics will remain bright. With the completion of the Korea Exchange in 1979, Yeouido has also become the center for Korea's finance. Since then, financial institutions began to converge in Yeouido. These institutions and their employees are omnipresent in the area, and almost anyone who is there on a daily basis can pick up enough knowledge to understand the world of finance. In fact, it is believed that one shoe shiner who worked in Yeouido has become a millionaire based on conversations he heard from finance workers. Although the identity of the shoe shiner is still unknown, the character was featured in a TV drama. Since 2009, Yeouido has been on the path to become not only Korea's international financial center, but also Asia's financial hub. Skyscrapers began sprouting up, changing Yeouido's skyline. The Seoul International Finance Center, or IFC, is at the center of the project to make Yeouido Asia's financial hub. The IFC is the result of an MOU signed by Global Financial Institute, AIG, and the Seoul Metropolitan Government in 2003, in which AIG would invest about $1.3 billion over 10 years. 3 towers house a hotel and an underground shopping mall, making it an enormous complex facility. The first tower alone houses 16 globally recognized financial institutions. Underneath the IFC is the IFC Mall, a major player in Yeouido's retail market. It features numerous brand shops, as well as a theater and a food court. And since the IFC Mall opened its doors, real estate prices have been on the rise. The IFC Mall has become a popular hangout for office workers in this area. It not only features the newest lifestyle and cultural trends, it is also becoming a new residential area. Once a sandy field, Yeouido has become a big urban area where around 800,000 move in and out. This little island is the center of politics and economics in Korea today, and we look forward to see how it changes in the future.